You know, even though I've often criticized President Obama, he is still much more morally superior than the leaders in Canada and even some of the liberals member of the House of Commons. Even though it's mostly rhetoric, Obama's position in Guantanamo Bay and on the freezing of settlement in Israel, even though they're mostly rhetoric, Obama's position is still more morally enlightened than those that are in the conservative government. For example, let's talk about free trade with Colombia. Last year, when President Obama was it last year, running as an Illinois senator for the presidential candidate, as a presidential candidate, he said that he would oppose the Colombia Free Trade Agreement because, quote, the violence against the union in Colombia would make a mockery of the very labor protection that we have insists to be included in these kind of agreements. And even Paul Martin himself, as a liberal leader back in 2005 or 2006, has stated that the death of 28 trade unionists and 60 officials, as well as nearly 600 individuals by the parliamentary group and the Colombia military in 2008, and the leadership of that country, Colombia, and its failure to distribute the already limited wealth the country generates would actually give even more money to the government in Colombia if they have been succeed in trading with Canada, and that would not make it more fair. That our Canada Colombia Free Trade Agreement would actually make it even worse for the people in Colombia. But yet, the conservative and some of the liberals are looking to implement Bill C-23 to pass the legislation that would um, allow free trade between Colombia and Canada. And it's right back to resume into the fall session in September. And two liberal MP in particular, Bob Ray and Scott Brison, has been cheering on the Colombia president and the free trade dogma. And despite the fact that the Human Rights Watch state that the government official has suggested that the member of the Colombian army have massacred people, including indigenous people, with the purpose of eliminating and intimidating witnesses of atrocities committed by the army group in the Colombia, by the Colombia government, and they have massacred people and the murdering of 38 people. They have trade intelligence on trade unionists and academics, and later on to murder these people on behalf of the government. And the spying on the members of the Supreme Court, human rights activists, and all that kind of people who oppose the government in Colombia. If we are to take seriously to have any moral compass as a country, we would not be trading deal with a country with such bad record on human rights. So once again, the liberals and the conservatives have failed to stand up for what is right. All they care about is trade, money. They don't care about what is the people need, and those people who are murdered and those people who are oppressed by the government of Colombia. And it's not just Canada, of course. Obama is planning to put 7 more military bases in Colombia, which is questioned as a tactic to intimidate the Hugo Chavez government in Venezuela. So all of this is not a very good sign. If one wonder why the Liberal Party is having such a hard time getting support from Canadians, it's because on every major important issue like Bill C-15, the war on drug bill, and the free trade agreement with Colombia, they have stand to support the conservative government. They have not been able to distinguish themselves. They have not given any Canadian reason to vote for them. That is why they're not getting support. That is why they're losing votes. And that is why we'll probably have a majority government, which will truly be a scary Halloween theme this year.